Yo! So this is a clip of one of our bonus episodes called More of a Clue.
That's right.
If you want to listen, you know what to do. Either join up the Patreon or click on More of a Clue on Apple Podcasts.
That's correct.
So here's what you can expect.
Special effect. Hello and welcome to More of a Clue. If you've just joined our Clueless clan, welcome. Come in, sit down. And if you're part of the Clueless clan, you know what it is. We're about to get into some extra stuff. This might be a bit that people listen to as a clip. Well, enjoy the clip. If that's all you want to do, cool. If you want to jump in and get the whole thing.
Sign up, man. About this might be the clip, bruv. If you're here already and you rock with us, we love you, bruv.
Yeah.
Like, this year has put a battery in my back and we're going to go even harder. And you guys are going to be the ones that, no, I knew that man from the beginning, yo. So, yeah, big up you, man.
Yeah, exactly. Kate, just like in the interest of jumping straight in with what we're talking about before we press record.
Yeah, baby.
You know, sometimes like we align in weird ways. Like we say stuff at the same time.
Sure.
We crack joke and find the same thing funny. If we're in the room, we see like the same micro thing. Can you just
give each other a look and be like,
you saw that? Yeah. So just repeat what you said before you started.
So I've got a playlist because yesterday somebody tweeted something where they were like, oh, what music do you play on a Sunday? I said Bobby Caldwell and all the music that's been sampled by it.
Yeah.
So I've got a playlist where I've got the songs that Bobby Caldwell has got and then the hip hop sample to it.
What's it called?
Bobby Caldwell and samples.
So I've got a playlist on my Spotify that's just called Samples, which is the original
and the
sample, like the original song and then the tune afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I've got Open Your Eyes.
Yeah.
So where you go?
That's Common the Light, innit? Yeah.
No, this is Open Your Eyes. But
yeah, and then Common the Light. Yeah,
and then I've got
afterwards. Yeah.
And then I've got obviously.
Yeah.
And then I've got wait. My Flame. And then La. Oh, it's not skipping now.
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. And then obviously, yeah, you've got but I found out. Hold on. But then I found out also Ella May has sampled that.
I love that kind of stuff.
So yeah, I do nerdy shit like that.
I love that kind of stuff, bruv. Yeah. No, so I've got a whole playlist of them. So I've got stuff like Old Dirty Bastard, like just rapping. And then the next tune. Alicia Keys, but I've got like old school stuff as well. That is mad. I didn't know you did that kind of stuff as well.
So, all right.
Music nerdity at its finest.
So, okay.
People are like, oh my gosh, is this what I get from More of a Clue?
So
wow.
So Central C, you know him, right?
Yeah.
He released this, yeah.
Yeah.
And people were like, oh, what beat is that? And I knew that was a Flukes beat from about 16 years ago. So then I was... Anyway, man. So I am quite... I've said to people before, like, oh my God, like... Because, okay, so it's been something really interesting recently where, like, I can tell, for example, with a little... all right, so I need to preface this with something, right? I am a real hip-hop fan and I was like properly into hip-hop when I was a teen, right? So there are certain things I hear that rappers say and I know that it's them paying homage to a lyric that they liked when they were younger. Like Jay-Z used to do it a lot as well.
Yeah, they all
like,
do.
you know, so like anyone, Tyson, Jordan, Jackson, Pat Guns, ridiculous, that stuff. And then like Jay-Z, that was a Biggie lyric and Jay-Z said something similar to it. And Drake does that a lot, right? Yeah. And then someone came out with a video of like, oh, look at Drake stealing bars. And you were like, because they used to do the same with Jay-Z where they were like, Jay-Z stealing bars. And it was like...
they did it with Wayne as well.
Yeah, and it's like these guys, no, they're taking a bit of that song.
No. Yeah. What do you mean no? They did it. Yeah, they did it with Wayne as well.
Yeah,
like,
sorry, yeah.
I'm sat with a master plan, you know, mic in my hand, like the thing he did on the Lloyd tune. That was a classic bar as well. So
like, remember that Eminem had a song.
I'm thinking of a master plan. Sorry, all the hip hop.
Eminem had a hip hop song, Superman. You know when he's like, ladies they come they go, Saturday through my, and then Drake done something similar, and they're like, look man, he's copied Eminem, and you're like, You flipping little...
Well. I mean, I don't know why I've decided to suddenly stick up for Drake for no reason. Are you?
No. It was. My point was in terms of like
sampling
people that aren't students of music or the game, like students of hip hop, right? That don't understand. I think hip hop in particular is an art form where people, and it really showed recently where people will be like, oh, I've never listened to Kendrick Lamar. It's like, what do you mean, bro? Like, if you say you love hip hop, you've never gone back and listened to me. I feel like in rock music, DJ Snips used to say this a lot of the time, right? In rock music, there's no way a rock artist could come out and go, I've never listened to Led Zeppelin or I've never listened to the Rolling Stones or anything like that. Whereas in hip hop, I feel like people go, because there was a bunch of rappers going, man, I ain't never listened to Tupac. And you're like, How are you even admitting that? That's not...
Do you know what, though? I hear that, but I think now I've got to say a counter conversation, I'd say. Again, like, for anyone wondering what my qualifications are, I might sound a bit tardy here, but don't mess around. I got knowledge when it comes to that. But, like, when you get... I feel almost proud that we've got to that point in music where people can say they've not listened to an artist, but they've studied, because we're only going to have more and more hip hop history, and we're 50 years in, right? So for me, I hear there's basics that you need to know, but for me, I understand that rap and hip hop has grown to a point now where people may not be able to all consume. I'm not saying a level of ignorance is acceptable, but I disagree that if somebody is into rock, they know everything. They don't. You just find people who give a lot of knowledge in the areas. It's impossible to know all of rock.
Not all of it, but I feel like there should be some people that when you're like, when people are like, these are the top 5 greatest bands, you've listened to their music.
Maybe you listen to it.
Like, when people go, my top 10 MCs, you should know them, bro.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's very easy to come from a place of knowledge privilege where you're like, well, you should know this, you should know this. You're good, Kay. You're into it. You know it all.
Damn it, Marcus. Let me fucking get at the youth, bro.
Let me
shit on the youth, bro. Always trying to come as a voice of reason. I want to shit on the youth. Not like that, obviously, but like...
That's a great clip. Oi, so this sometimes, Kay, do you know what's funny? Yeah, we'll get back into this. Something funny is I think if somebody jumps into a part of the podcast and skips in randomly and just lands... Yeah. So what's Ain't Got a Clue like? I don't know, let's find a random part. I want to shit! Like, oh, okay. Right, okay. And what else do they do? Honestly, they have... sometimes it's political. Sometimes they're talking about, local government policy, and skip forward a bit. You know what I fucking hate about these kids here? But, no, I hear what you're saying, Ken. I agree with what you're saying totally, but I also... Well, not totally, but I also think, like, I want to have room... I want to give the youth the same room that I needed when I was on the come up, man. And I want hip hop to be so big, it's impossible to consume all of it. And I feel like I used to see like with grime and garage and stuff like that, like even though they're relatively smaller scenes on a worldwide scale, some people would be like, yeah, you need to, and I'm like, sometimes you need to just appreciate it from an ignoramus's point of view and let them say their thing. But if you're a rapper and it's your job to be a rapper, I think it would only be wise for you to have a higher intelligence of the game, because if you don't, you can get caught slipping. Because we've seen over the years recently with all of the hip hop beefs that we've seen, what has helped people win has been students of the game.
I think it's in any craft. I feel like even when comedians are like, oh yeah, I've never watched that, and you're like, what do you mean you've never watched that, bruv?
If I wanted to, at some point be a comedian, but I was like, look, I'm just having a bit of fun. I'm a casual comedian. Maybe I want to do a bit more work with it. I'm comfortable, I would say, with being like, I don't know all comedy, like a lot of other comedians would, but I probably wouldn't be coming out there balls out saying, I'm going to fucking salute any comedian. That's how I'd feel like. I'd feel like I just want to enjoy my own path.
That's a weird thing to be anyway.
Is it?
Fucking I hate that sort of mentality where it's like, hip-hop's a bit different, right? Hip-hop's a bit more dick swinging, like, I'm the guy, I'm the man, I'm better than you, shut up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Whereas I feel like in
comedy, they just say it behind each other's back.
Absolutely.
Hi, how are you? You fucking dickhead, bruv.
There was
and that was a guess, just because all of entertainment is. I was
laughing because it's funny, but for example, I watched that Kevin Hart receiving a Mark Twain prize on Netflix, and Dave Chappelle got that a couple of years back as well. Yeah. But it was fun to see how many comedians there, they all were like, supportive of him and, giving him a bit more, giving him praise and all that sort of stuff. And And that was fun to watch, right? Because it was like, oh, they like each other and whatever. But it's harder to get that in a lot of music circles and stuff. I don't feel like you'd get that level of camaraderie with a musician. Like if a musician's won, like, okay, let's say, for example, now Ray, who won a bunch of Brit Awards or whatever, I can't see a whole audience of other singers and musicians coming out and going, well done, Ray, like, as in a whole show, and coming out and going how much they love her. Do you see what I'm coming from? Yeah. Whereas I feel like with comedy, like, that's a bit more like, because we know how hard it is to get to that level.
Yeah,
it's a bit like fucking hell. But that was funny, man, that Mark Twain thing. Nick Cannon came in there, he done some funny stuff, and then Chris Rock came out and was like, that was the funniest stuff I've ever seen Nick Cannon. Which was great.
I do like that, man.
Moving completely on, I saw something, it's a nice segue because Kendrick Lamar was involved in it, right? But I saw a clip from Louis Vuitton's fashion show. Now, you're not into the fashion thing, are you?
Wow. And that is where we stop the clip, because if you want to listen to how shit's about to go down, it's going to go down the rest of the Patreon. Kay has just taken out his Magnum out of nowhere and just shot me up point blank range.
Come on, man.
Wow. Yo, that was a episode, or it's a taster of an episode of our bonus shizzle called More of a Clue. If you want to get your hands on that every single week, plus all of our regular episodes early without ads, then click the link in the show description to take you to Patreon. Or if you're on Apple Podcasts, open up your app and get yourself a free trial of over 40 hours of bonus content. Peace.